What is going on, everybody? Ten and Gold here, and I hope you guys are having an awesome day today. We're here for my draft analysis for the UPA season 2. If you guys are not familiar with what UPA is, it is a Wi-Fi based draft league where we have, in this occasion, 20 different coaches drafting different Pokemon, and then up to about 9 to 11, I want to say. I think it was 9 to 11 is what we made it, and then we'll build different teams for every week, play different coaches, etc, etc. I am one of the founders with UPA alongside my good friend, generally one of my best friends on the internet, JBWestside. Shayquaza and Mid are also amazing people. You should definitely check all of them out there. All the coaches are in the description down below. UPA was kind of founded in the ideology that we want to bring different people to the Wi-Fi draft league scene, and we definitely did that last season. We did that again this season, expanding from 16 to 20 coaches, like I mentioned, and there's a lot of new faces, a lot of people that I'm sure you have not seen before or heard of before that make really good content, and I definitely encourage you guys watch them. With that being said, you guys are here to hear what I drafted and my thought process behind those Pokemon and stuff like that. And if you're here just to hear me talk, then feel free to have me in the background, whatever you guys are doing in the meantime. But yeah, so for this time around, 20 coaches, that's a lot of people. Unfortunately, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we were 15th out of 20 coaches. That is not really good. Last season we were second, and we got Galarian Zapdos, which had the whole top 3 kill leader. The other 2 were G-Maxes, I believe, so it was the only non-G-Max Pokemon that was on the kill leader. This round, my 15th pick, it's going to be kind of difficult to get that type of Pokemon. However, I'm sure you guys can see your screen right now, and you already know we drafted some good stuff. But 15th, I didn't know what was going to get to me. I didn't really know what I wanted. And that's when Shay hit me up and said, hey, I know there's a Pokemon that you've been trying to get for a while. I don't know what I want. I don't really want anything in particular. I can get it for you, because he knew it wasn't gonna get back to me at 15th pick. I can draft it for you, and then we'll just trade later for something else. And I said, hell yeah, man, let's do it. That Pokemon I'm talking about is Zera Aura. I should mention, by the way, we have 120 points for, I believe it's 11 Pokemon, or up to 11 Pokemon. We can go down to 9 if you want to be, if you kind of be top heavy. You'll have less Pokemon. It's easier for the opponent to prep, but you'll have stronger Pokemon. So, yeah, that kind of stuff. So, Shay, the boy himself, drafted Zera Aura for me and gave it to me. Guys, I've been trying to get this Pokemon for the past 2 years. Ever since this Pokemon has been released, I've been trying to use it, play it on Wi-Fi, and every time it gets picked right before me. We could have had it the last 2 seasons because we've been actually really lucky, but I think there was better things that I wanted to grab and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I couldn't wait any longer. I told him, you know what, let's do it. Let's get Zera Aura. It's 18 points, so it's kind of expensive, but man, is it worth it? This is such a good Pokemon, and it got a lot of good moves. This generation, it's extremely fast, 143 speed, it hits pretty hard, 112 attack, 102 special attack, and it's fairly bulky, 88 HP, 80 SPDF, 75 defense. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Its move pool is ridiculous. It has such a wide move pool. And yeah, I mean, things like Play Rough, things like Blaze Kick is great. Like Blaze Kick, for example, is great for Steel types and for Grass types. It has Momentum and Volt Switch. Plasma Fist is a great move. It looks really good on Wi-Fi, and I can't wait to be clicking that button all the freaking time. But paired up with its ability Voltazord, it turns normal type attack into electric types attack, so it pairs off really well with that ability. It's just it's just such a good Pokemon. It looks phenomenal. I love the aesthetics of the Pokemon. It's so versatile. Man. I'm super duper excited for it. And I can't wait to use this Pokemon. Yeah, so I wanted something that pairs off well with this. I wanted, for sure, a flying type that was like a really good flying type, like either Tornadus or something along those lines. But I was looking at it and I was like, what pairs off with the Zera Aura really well? I was looking at like things like Celesteela. I was looking at things like Skarmory, Corviknight, like steel flying types essentially, because I feel like those two pair off really well with Zera Aura. They just the synergy is really great. And out of those, I decided to go with Corviknight. Celesteela, I feel like, is the lack of recovery, quote unquote recovery, with like i.e. Roost. I feel like is something that was kind of lacking to fit in with Zera Aura. Not saying it's a bad Pokemon. I wanted a flying type that gets Roost. Essentially, is what I'm saying. Celesteela, I know it gets Sleet Seed, but it's kind of situational, I guess, in a way. Not like it's still obviously good for the whole team, but I feel like Corviknight was better for getting Roost. Skarmory was too passive, although it does give me Spikes, which is great for Steel types. I feel like Corviknight with U-Turn just gets the momentum going with Zera Aura really well. It has Corviknight has a great ability in Mirror Armor, so any status changes will go back to the opponent. It has phenomenal defenses. It gives me a defog early on, which I know usually when I draft, I kind of lack in removal, so that was a good thing. It's set up, it gets screens, like this Pokemon is just great all around. It's really well-rounded Pokemon. The only thing it doesn't get is Toxic. I think that's the one thing that kind of sucks, because it's a Gen 8 Pokemon and they decided not to give Toxic to anything in Gen 8. But at the end of the day, it's a Corviknight. It's a really good Pokemon. And I'm also really excited to use those. Corviknight is also another Pokemon I've been wanting to use for a while. I know how hard it is to prep for it, and I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah, so after drafting Corviknight, I didn't really know what I wanted. I was just kind of start looking at the board, see what's available. I am 15th pick, so I have to wait for 14 times 2, 28 picks to be drafted before it's my turn, and I'm just seeing Mons go one by one. I'm seeing things like Killer and Zapdos is still on the field. I'm seeing things like Urshifu Rapid Strike got taken a couple picks before me by Shay, actually. Things like that. But then I realize they messed up. They left me Fishy Boy, guys. Fishy Boy, after round 3, was still there. So you already know I had to draft it. You already know after 18 points Zera Aura, 18 points Corviknight, I had to draft Dracovish at round 3. If you guys don't know who Dracovish is, I don't know how you have not heard of Dracovish yet. This Pokemon is ridiculous. Granted, his stats aren't exactly the best, but it does have a move called Vicious Rant that doubles if this Pokemon moves before the target. That with Strong Jaw is easily one of the strongest hitting move in the freaking game, because it's also stab. It has 90 base attack, so it's not, bad per se. This thing is just so hard to switch into, especially paired off with Corviknight. Corviknight switches. It's a really good answer and check for grass types, and Zera Aura can scare off water types really easily. So these 3 Pokemon are gonna be so hard to switch into. Like these 3 Pokemon are such a powerhouse. We have momentum with Zera Aura and Corviknight. We have a really good breaker in Dracovish. I mean, we're gonna go nuts this season. Like, we have to. If you don't go nuts, we're just trash, basically. And by we, I mean me. But I'm so excited. That's Mon number 3 that I've been wanting to try for a long time. That usually gets drafted like round 1 because of how crazy strong it is. It's ridiculous. But what makes this Pokemon even good, it has an ability called Sand Rush, which doubles its speed in sand, paired off with Fishies Rend, doubles its attack as well. Just have a choice band on this Pokemon, and just go ham. Just go absolutely ham. And with that being said, that leads us to our fourth Pokemon, which is Gigalith. Gigalith provides sand for Dracovish, thanks to Sandstream. It also provides us with a Stealth Rocker, which we don't have yet, so getting some hazards is nice. Start chipping down the team, breaking sashes and stuff like that for Dracovish and Zera Aura to go ham in. Sand also allows us to chip down our opponent's team, and again, break sashes. Just like if anything would be a 2-hit KOs with Dracovish, can easily become 1-hit KOs after rock and sand damage. Like that's how well these Pokemon pair together. I know people usually take like baby hippos so they could spare them points and stuff like that. But I wanted a Pokemon that doesn't just set sand and then dies. I wanted a Pokemon that can still take a hit with base 130 defense. Gigalith can definitely do that. Can still, pack a punch, base 135 attack. Gigalith can certainly do that. It's a reliable Stealth Rocker. It has Sturdy too if I need to. If I don't need sand for whatever reason. Gigalith is, in my opinion, one of the better scent rockers in the game. I think after T-Tar. Hippo's definitely good too, but I feel like it was really passive, and Hippo Corviknight is becoming a little too fat for my liking. As much as I like balance, sometimes you gotta have a Pokemon or two to pack a punch. So that's gonna be Gigalith here. I feel like so far this team is shaping up to be really good, and that's just 4 Pokemons in. We did blow a lot of our points. We had 120, we have 57 left, so we blew half of our points on 4 Pokemon, but we really actually are able to shape our team up later on. But the next pick, I wanted a strong grass type, just because this team is going to start struggling with things like Gastrodon and Quagsire, those water absorb Pokemon and stuff like that. And I also just like fat water types in general. Things are something Dracovish doesn't really appreciate. Corviknight doesn't really appreciate. Those water ground types like Quagsire, Gastrodon that I mentioned, Zera Aura, can potentially 1v1, but it's definitely a lot harder. So I went and drafted, and that is Zarude. Zarude's going to be there to start breaking apart those Pokemon that I mentioned before. It also gives us another pivot with U-Turn, and Zarude just looks really freaking fun to use, man. It has such a good stats. It's actually really bulky with 105 HP and 105 defense and 95 SPDF. Like it's actually really strong. 120 attack. I don't think it has a good ability if I remember correctly. Yeah, just sleeve card, so really nothing. But it gives us another momentum with U-Turn. It also has a move called Jungle Healing, which heals itself for a quarter max HP and also cures its status. So if it ever gets burns because of scalds and stuff like that, it can heal that up, which is really nice. It also is base 105 speed, which so far, other than Zera Aura, both our Pokemon are, we don't have anything else above 100. So that's definitely something that we needed to do. So yeah, really fun Pokemon, really something I wanted to use, and I'm really excited to use that. Next up, I wanted something, first of all, I needed a special attacker, because other than Zera Aura, all of our Pokemon are physical attackers, and that's something I do pretty frequently in drafts, where most of my offense will be physically offensive, and I won't have a lot of special attacker. All the special is in my head. But I went ahead and drafted Salazzle. Salazzle is a phenomenal Pokemon. I have used this Pokemon in the past, and I've used it really well. Corrosion is such a great ability, being able to toxic everything, from poison types, steel types as well. It's going to be a really good Pokemon. It also is going to be there for bulky grass types that Zera Aura and Dracovish have a hard time breaking. Base 115 speed kind of bridges that speed that we had between Zerud and Zera Aura, sort of. We might pick up something else later that's going to be a little faster than that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I've used Salazzle before, super duper excited to use it again. Last time I've used it was actually, I think, Gen 7 on like a Showdown League. But this thing is, yeah, really good Pokemon. Definitely appreciate chips from like sand and stuff like that, but it's gonna mesh really well with Dracovish and Zera Aura, as well as Corviknight too, because these two Pokemon are really good together. Yeah, that's gonna be Salazzle. Next up, I went with Whimsicott. I thought Whimsicott was actually base 126 speed. I am actually very surprised that it's only 116. But we needed a fairy type. I'm starting looking at my team and I'm like, okay, what do I need? I have a dragon, I have a steel, I don't have a fairy type. So I wanted Gardevoir at first. Gardevoir got picked like 4 picks before me, I think. And that one really hurt. I've been trying to use Gardevoir for a while as well, and it's also a great special attacker. So I decided to go with Whimsicott instead. It gives us a prankster user, so it kind of quote unquote bridges that speed gap that we have with Zera Aura at 145 and Salazzle at 117. But it also, again, gives us momentum with U-turn. Or Memento, if we need to run that. Gives us Tailwind support too, which is going to be really important for Dracovish, plus the rest of our team, which is kind of slow. It is another special attacker, quote unquote special attacker. It doesn't hit that hard, but at least against Moonblast, which I thought was really important. Yeah, I mean, Whimsicott is really good Pokemon. Prankster is going to be really good. I feel like Fairy types with Prankster are really good just because of the fact that they can still hit Dark types. Dark types are immune to Prankster, so being able to hit them super effectively, making those 50-50s, stuff like that, I feel like is important. But yeah, that's Whimsicott. Never used it before. It's going to be my first time. I hope I use it well. And it does fill our fairy quota too, which is nice. Next up, I needed a ground type. My team, even though I have a Zera Aura, that's my only electric immunity on the team, so I wanted something that can switch into electric types, even though we have 2 grass types, and our water type isn't technically weak to electric. I wanted a ground type just so that I can be a little bit more confident. We do have Kahuutz with a rain team. If you guys haven't checked him out, he'll be in the description down below, but he has like a pretty scary Coco rain team, and I definitely wanted to make sure I prep for that, and have I don't even know if I play him this season, but I wanted to have something to be prepared for that, basically. So we went with Swampert. Swampert is my boy. Oh my goodness, we used to run Swamp, like a Spit F Swampert back in the days, like in Gen 7, and that thing would never die. And now that I have Flip Turn this season, this generation, for even more momentum, something just flew off my desk. Flip Turn allows us for even more momentum, so if they go into grass types, we can switch into Salazzle, we can switch into Corviknight, but it also gives us another Stealth Rocker, which is really important. Oh, I forgot to mention, Whimsicott gives us Defog too. I forgot that thing gets Defog. Gives us a removal, so that way we don't have to have removal on Corviknight, which is nice. But yeah, another Stealth Rocker, so we're not so reliant on Corviknight or on Gigalith for Stealth Rocks, is going to be important. And it's just overall a really good Pokemon. It's a starter, so it has really good stat. It's really bulky, even though it's not the fastest thing on Earth. It can still take a hit. If EV'd correctly, which I feel like I do pretty well, it could definitely take a hit or two, and it can deal back a hit or two, which is really nice. Yeah, I'm really excited for this Pokemon. My boy Pert. And as you can see, that was 12 points from our budget. That was half of what we had remaining. So we had now 13 points for the next at least 4 or at most 4 picks. So we're starting to run out of points real fast. But the team at this point, we don't really need anything else. Like type wise, we kind of checked everything we needed. We have a fire water grass core. We have a dragon steel fairy core. We have rocks on different Pokemon, even though probably a little lacking. But we have a good amount of removal. One thing I didn't want is another special attacker. Salazzle, being the only special attacker we have on the team, is kind of not the greatest. Our main offense is going to be mainly physical with Zera Aura, Dracovish. So I went and got QtheCostaRican next, and Kofag does a lot of different things for us. Of course, it gives us a special attacker. Although it only has 95 special attack, it does get Nasty Plot, which is really important. But it also gives us a Toxic Spike Pokemon, which is really important just to whittle down my opponent's team. T-Spikes is so good. It forces out their poison types to absorb it, or forces them out to for them to get rid of the removal. It's also a rapid spin blocker just because it's a ghost type. So this is really important for that reason. It also gets Trick Room. My team isn't necessarily the fastest. Between Zera Aura and Salazzle, there is a big bridge of like 25 points of speed wise. So there's a big bridge. So I can run Trick Room if I want to with this Pokemon, which is nice. Mummy also great for canceling abilities. As we all know, this is definitely getting rid of abilities is really nice. Even though it's on contact, it's still a really good thing. Yeah, I'm excited for this Pokemon. I have used this Pokemon once or twice, so I'm kind of familiar with it. But yeah, super excited for QtheCostaRican. And then we only have 5 points left, so we just decided, you know what? We'll just use our 5 points. We'll just run with, I believe, 9 Pokemon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With 10 Pokemon. 10 Pokemon is actually pretty good. We'll just run with 10 Pokemon and just have a really solid team. And that's going to be Cryogonal. Now, Cryogonal is a fantastic Pokemon. I've used Cryogonal before. And this Pokemon is really good. First of all, it's going to have Levitate, so it's going to give us another ground immunity, which we only had Corviknight for. We do have 2 grass types, so we do have a good amount of resistance, but it does provide that ground immunity if needed. Second of all, it gives us a Pokemon with a high SpDef. The only Pokemon that was a base 135 SpDef is really good. The only SpDef wall we had otherwise was going to be Gigalith. Thanks to the Sandstorm, it does boost the SpDef. But this, I mean, Cryogonal is just naturally SpDef bulky, which is really nice. And lastly, it gives us Rapid Spin, so it gives us another way for us to remove hazards other than defog, which is nice. So that we can keep our T-Spikes, our Stealth Rocks, etc. This Pokemon also gets Freeze Dry. Freeze Dry is broken. Being able to hit water types super effectively is great for Dracovish, especially quite effective on those water ground types that have Water Absorb and stuff like that. But yeah, that's going to be the team. I hope you guys are excited for the season. We've already played week 1. And it's a good game. Not gonna lie, it is a really good game. Really excited for that one to go up. This video should be going up Friday if I plan everything out correctly. The game will be up on Sundays, so this will be up 2 days after this video goes up. But yeah, if you guys have any nickname suggestions, feel free to comment them down below. The only nickname I'm truly attached to is Salazzle. It's going to be named after Daddy. Anything else is fair game. I'm willing to nickname almost anything. Almost anything you guys want, just make sure to comment them down below. Down below is also going to be the coaches. Make sure to check them all out. There's a good assortment of 19 other coaches that we've taken for the league. A lot of new faces, a lot of older familiar faces. Definitely go ahead and check them out. When you guys are down there, make sure to like and subscribe. It's always really appreciated, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.